so that they can just like that focus on their research. And I believe this is the way any institute will achieve their top quality, and which is currently not here, which I can feel that. But that is the dream, but it's not the ground reality. For now, there are many sectors where we need improvement in our IISc. And if we are disconnected, then for individual student to solve any problem, either it takes a lot of time and energy to solve any small problem, or we have to adjust with the problems. But either ways, these problems make a lot of negative impact on our academic career. And I believe compromise is the cradle of mediocrity. So better we should address all these issues and try to solve these problems. I would like to focus very seriously in communication within us, within all the student communities, so that any issue is raised, that must be heard and that must reach to corresponding authorities. Suppose we have any issue in ourselves, we want to phrase that to respective authorities and make them realize the need for our need, and we must request them to work on those issues. And for that, we need a lot of volunteers. We need a lot of participation from all the student community. I would request all of you to vote first. That actually gives a clear message that our whole student community is actually concerned about our demands. And of course, secondly, I want to request all of you to vote for me for obvious reasons. Not just vote for me, but you must volunteer for each and every activities which student council are arranging throughout the year. That's how so that we are not run out of helping hands, so that we can work until we are done. So let's fix an example for our future students that yes, research is worth of doing here in IISc. But these are only the aims, but the aims are not enough. We have to hit them, and we have to hit hard, and that's why I have aims only for some agendas which I have elaborated plans to execute all these agendas. So I would like to make all office works online, starting from complaint to any section to thesis submission and defense, so that there is minimum amount of paperwork and physical involvement. Next, we need an efficient addresser to the submitted complaints. Next, to me, the big thing is, I think in our campus the security is very, very poor, almost nil. So I think we must address this issue. We must have much strict our entry to campus. But of course, we should keep in mind that whatever rule we fix, it should be convenient to us. Next, we need a better infrastructure and 24/7 professional support for physical and mental health. I would like to work for a better placement cell. I don't know how many of you are actually satisfied with our current placement cell. Certainly I am not. So I really, especially for UGs and science students, our placement cell is very, very poor. We need better opportunities for internship as well for all the students. I think this internship is a platform by which all of us can get a global exposure, but it's not happening in IISc. Only very, very few students go for internship outside. So we have to improve this number. the world, they should not be restricted to only IISc's campus for their final project. Next, we need better communication. I can't just emphasize enough how important it is to have better communication with all the students. What we want to do is, after having communication within us, if there is any issue raised, we must address this issue and we must reach these issues to our respective authorities so that they can care for our need and they can start working for those issues to solve it. We also need to push them more often, our administration, to complete all the works. These are the main issues which I am keen to focus on, but through the course of our time, definitely new challenges will come and we must address them at the right time. And I believe these challenges are most important and interesting to for life, and overcoming any challenges make our life meaningful. Now, even we are on the right track, we will get run over if we just sit there. So what we need to push our administration and respective authorities to work for the project which are already sanctioned or for the new projects as well. Overall, I would like to see our IISc on overall, I would like to see IISc in the global map of academia. This will be the best thing which I can have. Whenever there is any post in Facebook or anywhere that IISc students has done something, it's really proud feeling for us. So definitely we should think on that line, and I would like to end by reciting Martin Luther King Jr. once who said, "Our lives begin to end that day we become silent about things that really matter to us."
Just a point of clarification before we go to this. To try and maximize the number of people asking questions, for each candidate, one person, please ask one question. We'll start with Avina because he raised his hand first.
So, from the speech that you have made, it doesn't seem to be very clear what your agendas are. To be precise. So, I'd just like to add, as being a part of the previous steering committee as well, out of all the issues that you have raised, quite a lot of them, the previous Students' Council and the council before had worked on it for some years and has reached to some level. It will be good that if you do your homework and then see what all issues have reached, what all stages, and accordingly come up with a plan. That doesn't seem to come out in speech.
You can come, question, like, I want to just give one example. Just like in our placement cell, so I was discussing with a lot of friends and in placement cell coordinators from various departments, and what I have understood that we have to have 3 stages, basically only 3 stages. First of all, we need to have one dedicated officer for placement cell, which we don't have. There is a management professor who is taking care of all this, and he is a professor. He has 11, 12 students. How can he spend all of his time? So we need one officer which will be dedicated to only placement. Second, we want to have infrastructure. Currently, we almost do not have any infrastructure for placement cell. So what we should do, we should start for planning, building. Because whenever a lot of companies will come, big MNCs, they will come for 2 to 3 days. Okay, but they need to have a big room where 100 to 150 people can sit and give their interview. So it's not possible in IISc. So at least in our placement cell, what we can do, we can start building, our construction work, and parallelly we should identify all the auditoriums whatever we have in our different departments and talk to the concerned chairman so that they will let us do this interview. So this is second point. And third, I have heard that lot of local companies and big companies also, they want, and also different institutes also, they want to have internship IISc students, okay, and they will pay. But the thing is, we are not able to get the news. So we are lacking the news as well. So we need one internship coordinator as well. So this is, I think, this is the basic three things we have to do, because to be frank, all for any company, IISc's brand value is poor, I will say. So we have to do it, and I think we must initiate that. So.
Those are questions and the answers, please try to keep it brief so that you can fill in maximum number.
Before asking question, I will take your permission. That's all. Before I ask, I want to ask. Okay, you have explained that.
Yes.
So I want to ask a question about. Can I ask there or not?
Is it related to this candidacy? Yes. Is it related to this candidacy? Then yes.
You can say if it's related to candidacy or not.
You ask the question, we decide answer. You ask the question.
The rumor around the some students that the AOL group to whom you belong is going to straighten their existence in the campus to the council. Okay? What's your point on that? What's your take on that? Now you decide.
Whether or not he belongs or not, that doesn't mean. So the rumor is
the
that I'll rephrase your
You can ask me any
One second.
issue.
That's what I'm asking. Is that question will be?
I'll rephrase your question so that it's valid. That do you think viewers that some organization or organizations are trying to take over the student council? Is it true or not, and what is your take on that? That is a valid question.
So you are taking out the AOL name, right?
I am.
You are taking out the
Whether or not he belongs to AOL or any other. Yes, sure. Whether or not he belongs to AOL or any other group is his personal
That's
choice.
very good. That's what I want to
Sure.
clear that.
You can answer the question. Then various organizations are trying to take over the student council. What is your view on it?
Ask the organization. I do not want to comment on this. If you have any issue with this question, please ask.
Mike, it will be good.
So my question is quite general, because whatever like you have said in front of us, whatever I have seen in campaigns, like all the major of the people have their favorite people to work with them. Okay, but what I want to know is that, like, whatever you have wished to do in this campus, suppose the group that you have chosen to work with them, if they are not like selected by the student community, will you able to like work with the other team, or is there any other team?
I will be happy to work with anyone. Please.
So what is the motive of this choosing the specific people to work together, or which is the independent choice of yours to work as independent or as in a group? Because I hope it will reflect in coming.
See, I mean, we hardly know Wasim, and I mean, we don't know each other before nomination, to be frank, okay? After nomination file, we discuss with each other, so we get to know about our views, and it doesn't matter who is in the panel, I will be happy to have anyone. I mean, we need volunteers, so I will have to work with anyone.
It's almost time. Election officers are not asking questions, guys. Because of that, I'll go to the next candidate. There's time left at the end. I will throw open. Anybody can ask any candidate questions. So now, can we give them a round of applause?
can sit there. No problem. You can sit there. I will sit there. Okay. Thanks.
You can play musical chairs. So whichever candidate vacates. Off the stage release. Your time starts now.
So, good evening all. Myself,
Good evening.
from Electrical Engineering Department. I'm a PhD student over there. Okay. I'm contesting for chairman post. And how I see a chairman in student council is like there are basically three qualities or three aspects which are very necessary. First is leadership, teamwork and trust. Okay. So firstly I will go for leadership. Definitely there are many posts for secretaries for different sections. But particularly I will be interested in taking forward some of the academic and placement issues. So first of all I will say like creating awareness about the mental cloud. Many people know, many people don't know. Okay. So what is the gap? Gap between the alumni and our students. So we can bridge this gap if we effectively utilize mental cloud which is there in other institutes. Now improving the placement infrastructure. Right now we have a part-time placement officer, but what we need a full-time placement officer. Why? Because of so many other commitments, he is not able to devote his full time. So definitely we need a full-time placement officer. Other infrastructure like rooms and halls, those are also definitely required. We will look into the matter. Now, centralized database for postdoc, that is also very important. Many of us are PhD students. So what is required, like after PhD, many of us would like to go for postdocs. So there should be a centralized postdoc database in the institute. It comes generally department wise, so but it should be full for the full institute. Okay, one important thing I would like to mention over here, we are going to have a global alumni meet from 25th to 28th June. Okay, I would urge everybody from every department to come out and participate in this because this will be a huge movement towards bridging the gap between alumni and other people outside the campus. Okay, nextly I will come to the workshops for technical writing and effective communication skills. Then career counseling for students, that is also another aspect. Then one thing I would like to point out, the condition of lecture hall. As you can see from the photographs, it is not at all good. I personally would like to take lead for all these things and would like to see all these things completing. Next thing is the teamwork. Teamwork comes when there are communities. There are so many groups in the IISc. Okay, there are Gymkhana Management Committee, there are so many ethnic groups, there are mess committees, there are other groups which are not ethnic also. What we need a better coordination between all these committees. Why? To have a good environment among the students so that we can work as well as enjoy together. It's not just we have to do our study or we have to do just our work. We equally need to enjoy also. Which I see in the campus, like dog menace. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, some issues which I would definitely like to raise are like dog menace. So curbing dog menace doesn't mean removing all the dogs. Okay. These are very unfriendly dogs which are there ready to bite everybody. You will definitely donate them as Then one more important thing, the pedestrian for this cyclist and pedestrian free institute. Friendly, not free, sorry. So friendly means what? Let us say somebody is going on bike, not necessarily a student or somebody. When they do rash driving, it is actually difficult for people who love to walk or who love to cycle. Okay. So what happens? It becomes difficult for them to go on the road. So we definitely like to have some demarcations on the road so that those people can go very easily, not the bicycles one. I mean, not the bikers one, but the bicycle and pedestrian people. Okay. Then cycle stand and parking space demarcation, that is also one more issue. We see in front of messes and hostels, so many bicycles are cluttered just like that. Okay, sometimes it becomes very difficult to take it out from that lot. So definitely it is required. Nextly, moving to the trust. Trust is very important between the council and the students. So improving more transparency when we are going for t-shirt sale or bicycle drive, anything. Then regular general body meetings, because what happens, the communication gap is there between council and the other students. We are generally not aware what decisions are being taken in the steering committee, what is happening in this council, what decisions are taken, and what was the basis of that. So definitely we should have more frequent general body meetings, and whatever meeting is going on in the steering committee, all the minutes of steering committee meetings should also come out to the students. Lastly, I would personally go for a student council portal for students. Here what happens, we have a council website, but this portal we generally want to have for discussion or complaints or any feedback or suggestion. So we have categorized before. You can see just a screenshot. We have already started working on it. Kinds like hostel issues, ethnic affairs, women affairs, miscellaneous. Then recent codes which are like very lively or which are like very hot in the campus, they are also trending. So we can see and locate, okay, which section is having the majority number of problems and who are the people who are facing it. We can directly go, we can follow, we can ask people what is happening with the particular problem which you have given in the hostel office or somewhere, and we can easily solve it. So it's just the coordination we need to bridge between the students, us and the authorities. Lastly, I would like to point out some of my past experiences just to come. So I was safety and operations officer in Indian Army for 2 years. Before that, I have coordinated so many conferences in IIT Varanasi. I have been president of Hindi Samiti for 1 year. I have volunteered for that also. I organized Deeposhow, was very much praised in front of main building. Then I volunteered for Nepal earthquake relief, organized open day in the Department of Electoral Integrity. Please come out, let us work together and let us initiate what we have plans.
You need the mic.
I have one request. I will just request that don't gap between the
Please take request because it's actually giving the speaker more time to speak.
I am from Center for Ecological Sciences, so I asked a question that is related to animals. Your question about serving your question about serving dog members. We all, irrespective of who was there in student council, I think I'm here since 2010, we have been trying to solve this problem. And there was recent mail from security head also. Then if anybody can come up with any solution, because the empty has been called so many times and their dogs are nowhere to be found. Forget about friends or
Mike.
So, do you have can you be very specific about this, how you are going to, and not just locating, because people have tried anything, security has given up, administration has given up, student council has given up, like how are you going to solve it? This is a serious problem.
Sure. So, first of all, I am not against dogs. Or any animals, okay. It is just some elements like some dogs are like unfriendly. They become very aggressive during nights and some other times, okay. They jump on people while they are coming back from the lab. I am just saying we can just locate those dogs, okay. While after locating we can just call people from municipality and just remove those like unfriendly dogs.
I don't know your name.
There has been so much negative campaign against you, okay? And you have been so silent, I can understand why. You should have please opened up, right?
I'll rephrase that.
And as I remember, under your tenure as Hindi Samiti, whatever, you made campus classes free. This is not in your list. So, why did
Are you asking a question or giving you? So what's your question?
Why you never responded to so much negative publicity against your group?
Okay, that's the question.
So, one thing I would say, there are three kinds of people. One who just speak, okay. One who speak and do some work also. And there are people who just do work, okay. I leave it up to you.
Go for it. Maybe give me a mic.
can speak.
Hi, my name is Mary. Are you familiar with the student council bylaws?
What was question? Are you familiar?
Are you familiar with the student council
I have
bylaws?
read it once, but I have not memorized it. Definitely, I will go through it once.
Your question.
I cannot ask you my question because you only read it once.
I don't remember, like I have not memorized, but I have one.
You can ask. Maybe you can try.
Okay, you know.
What are the checks and balances in the student council bylaws?
What are the checks and balances that the student council bylaws provide for the working of the student council? That's your question.
Okay.
You need the mindset.
My question is, what are the checks and balances provided in the student council bylaws that help the council do a good work? Thank you.
What are the checks in the bylaws that help this council do its work? So
I don't remember right now, but definitely I will go through once again and come to you. Okay? Thank you.
You have your hand. Yeah. I sort of wait.
Mike.
So, in your manifesto, you were talking of transparency and accountability. So, recently there was a relief collection for Nepal earthquake, in which some students had organized and they collected some money. And then they collected it in some name and then channelized it through some bogus organization, a private organization owned by a bearded swan. Now my question is that you were part of that committee which was this, and you talk of transparency and accountability on one hand, and you're very action. I appreciate that the relief went to those people, that is nice. But you faked and you did not actually tell the truth while collecting the money, which is a problem.
I don't know you make it better. No. Ask the precise question.
Ask the question, not the statement. Yeah, I'm coming to the question. So the question is, on one hand you have done an action which is not transparent and accountable, and then you have claimed you will be transparent and accountable. So I see a contradiction. My question is, why should anyone believe you? This is the question.
So the question is your question is basically Nepal earthquake relief. Yeah, I was part of it, definitely. I would like to clarify here very straight way, like no money was transferred to anyone. Okay. And also, it's not just like people from IISc only were working with that project. Many people who are like alumni in IISc were also in Nepal working on the same project. People from Nepal were studying in IISc, they were also working in the same project. So what we were doing, we started the project like, okay, something has happened. The motive is to just collect the material or purchase the material and to send it as soon as possible to the victims. That was the motive. And I would very proudly say that it has been achieved. And how, what we promised, like we said, okay, the material what we are sending would be received either by our IISc student or by our alumnus in IISc.
Wait. No questions out of turn, please. No questions out of turn. No questions out of turn. Let it finish, then you can get a chance. No, there's a time.
No, finish your response. Finish your.
Refrain asking questions before the time or hold your question till the end. Yeah? Please hold your question till the end.
Continue.
Okay. So what happened? We started collecting the money. In between, council was also in contact. They said like they are not able to find volunteers. That's okay. We started our work. Now, after collecting all the material, please.
You hold your question till the end, please.
Yeah. So after collecting all the material, the way like any international relief work is to be done. Like not a single needle you can send without paying the customs duty through the customs. Okay, for any international relief work, unless it is clearly stated in the Air India circular also, in the customs circular also. So it was very well stated. Not even a single needle we can send without paying customs duty to a single person. We can send relief material only to a NGO which is working on field there. That was the statement made by customs, airlines, everybody. Then we contacted our alumni and our people and their family members who are working in Nepal from the first day. Some of our volunteer Narayan is also here. He went to Nepal. Can you please stand? Can you please come forward?
Yeah. He is not part of the discussion.
No, I just want because this question is related.
No, he can see but not answer.
Yeah, no, he cannot answer. I just want to bring him in front of. Okay. So he himself went there. Okay, and Art of Living was just a channel so that the shipment can be moved from here to Kathmandu. That's all. Before and after that, there was no link with Art of Living, and also there was no logos of Art of Living on the cartons. There were only IISc logo. The people who received were from IISc. The people who worked were from IISc. That's all.
Thank you very much.